Today, I'm going to break down my favorite weird plays from the 2025 season, and we're going to start off with possibly the weirdest bunt that I've ever seen. It's now second and third, one down. All the Mariners need is a base hit, and they pretty much win the game. Unfortunately for the Mariners, they've got Dylan Moore on deck, and he's going to have two bad swings here to get down 0-2. He's going to take this pitch upstairs. Nice take. What's Hader going to do? 1-2. He goes inside. Is that a hit by pitch? It's in play. Here comes Raleigh, and he scores, and now they're going to throw to first, and Moore is out at first. What just happened on this play? Immediately, manager Joe Espada is going to come out, and I mean, this lip reading is so easy. Hit by pitch. Yep, I'm going to say that was a hit by pitch. Okay, so what happened there? Well, the home plate umpire ruled that hit the knob of the bat, as we can see in this replay here. I think it did. I think that pretty cleanly strikes the knob. I think the thing that's weird is Dylan Moore's reaction. Look at him reel back in pain. So you wonder maybe it clipped his hand a little bit. You can see his hand is sort of wrapped around the knob. Just a weird reaction there, but it does look like it hits the knob of the bat. And the funny thing about this challenge is the Astros are wanting a hit by pitch, even though several warnings have already been issued in this game. So if that ball actually hit him like a little cleaner, would Hader have been ejected from the game? Probably not, but it is just kind of funny considering where the game was. But anyway, it's in play, and immediately Raleigh takes off from third base. That is really aggressive by Raleigh, as we can see Hader scoops it here. I mean, I think Raleigh is dead meat. If Hader scoops that cleanly and fires it home, I think Raleigh has no chance of scoring. And I'm actually going to take that one step further. If Hader fields that cleanly, the game is over. So think about it. Raleigh is tagged out at home, and Moore is literally just sitting right there. The catcher could literally tag both players at the same time. Double play, game over. And I mean, Moore is even blocking the bag from Raleigh. Look at him. Where can Raleigh slide? Moore is totally in his way. And even if Raleigh tries to go on the outside, Moore's bat is sitting right there. So if it's a bang-bang play, this is not looking good for Cal. But fortunately for him, Hader just bobbles it. I think there was way too much chaos going on. Hader didn't even know if the ball was live. And unfortunately, he lost it in the transfer. Super weird play. The Mariners will go on to win the game in the 11th inning. This was a crazy game and a crazy play. First pitch to Marsh is in there for a strike, but hold on. Do we notice anything interesting about that pitch? Look at this side by side. On the left is how he threw to JT, and on the right is how he's throwing to Marsh right now. Yeah, he's pitching from the windup now. On the left side, we can see he's going from the stretch. What's the stretch? It's just a quicker move to home plate so the runners don't steal on you. But now that the runners are on second and third, Fitz says, well, I don't have to worry about anybody stealing, so I'm going to go back to the windup. Some pitchers just prefer to pitch from the windup. They feel a little bit more comfortable there. But Harper notices that. Harper's like, dude, Castellanos and I just stole on you pretty easily, and that was from the stretch. Now you're in the windup, you're going to take even longer. Harper's like, you know what? I might be able to do something about that. So here's the pitch. Harper's coming home, the throw, and he is safe, I think. Yes, he is safe. Okay, so first of all, what a jump by Harper. He was totally right. He clearly beats that throw. He time fits up perfectly and gets in there, as we can see here. That is a really nice heads-up play by Harper. But unfortunately, Harper is not going to get credit for stealing home, and this is where the play gets really weird. The actual call here is catcher's interference, or you might even say it's a catcher's balk, which is really funny. So the rulebook is actually super clear about this scenario. Here's the rule. If the runner on third tries to steal home, if the catcher steps in front of home plate without the ball, it's a balk. The batter goes to first. The ball is dead. It's like very specific. So in this case, Harper is safe at home, and Marsh gets first base, and Castellanos goes up to third. So this is a very specific rule. Why does this exist? Well, if there is a pitch thrown, the batter needs a chance to hit the ball. And if the catcher goes in front of the plate, he's interfering with the batter's opportunity to do so. And that's exactly what happens here. And yes, I know the batter technically isn't even close to the plate, but that does not matter for this rule. This rule is only worried about the catcher going in front of the plate. As we can see, Narvaez is clearly out in front of the plate. Therefore, it's catcher's interference. And you know what's really crazy about this? The Phillies and the Red Sox just played the night before. It was extra innings, bases were loaded, Sosa's at the plate, Narvaez is the catcher. Sosa swings and hits Narvaez's glove, catcher's interference, game over. There had not been a walk-off catcher's interference since 1971. So if that wasn't weird enough, now Narvaez had a second catcher's interference in his second inning, which is just really funny. So it was a great jump by Harper. Unfortunately, he doesn't get credit for the steal, but the run counts all the same, and the Phils do go on to win this game. So great play by Harper, and Carlos Narvaez is having a really bad time. It's Dodgers versus D-backs in the top of the 9th inning. The Dodgers were actually down by 3 coming into this inning, but they claw back, they tie it up at 11, and now it's 2 on, 1 out, and Shohei Ohtani is coming to the plate. So the D-backs are going to bring in a new reliever, Ryan Thompson. Now, Ryan Thompson is a very good reliever, but he's thinking, how the heck do I pitch to Shohei Ohtani? Here's what I mean. Here's Ohtani's zone chart. This is his expected batting average. Look at this zone. Every single place in the chart, he's going to get a hit. That is insane. You just can't throw Ohtani a strike, basically. Your only chance is you try to get him to chase outside the zone. But as we can see here, Ohtani is very good at not chasing. Now, there is one little thing that Ohtani does struggle with. This year, he struggled versus off-speed pitches. Last year, he ate him up, but this year, he's off to a slow start. So Thompson says, you know what, that's cool, but I don't have an off-speed pitch. Thompson just has this fastball, and he's got this slider. Two really good pitches, but as we can see, Ohtani eats those for breakfast. And Thompson's saying, I don't want to get eaten for breakfast. I wish I had an off-speed pitch. So how is Thompson going to start this at-bat off? First pitch, he goes with the slider inside. Great pitch. You can see he got the chase. He did not throw it in the zone. Gets the swing and miss. Pitch number 2 is what the heck? Hold on. What did we just see here? That was not a fastball. That was not a breaking ball. Oh my goodness, that was a splitter. A splitter. Look at this, guys. Ryan Thompson has been pitching for 6 years, and that's the first splitter he's ever thrown in his major league career. He's never thrown this pitch, and he's throwing it in the top of the 9th, bases juiced versus Shohei Ohtani. You're debuting a brand new pitch right now? To be fair, I mean, it didn't look that bad. Why is this the time? I think it's because a splitter is considered off speed. You can see how it breaks to the right. That's an off speed movement. And we know Ohtani struggles versus off speed. This is just a bizarre time to introduce a new pitch. Third pitch, another slider. That one caught the zone, and Ohtani just missed that one. Thompson got away with one there, but you've got him in a 1-2 count, so you've got a couple chances to get him out. On this first one, do not pitch in the zone. Try to get that chase. Maybe try another slider in, maybe try a backdoor slider, but whatever you do not pitch in the zone. We know he crushes pitches in the zone. Try to get the chase. And kaboom! Are you serious, man? Ohtani with the big fly, and this game is over. What did he throw? He threw that splitter. Look at that action breaking, and Ohtani saw it the whole way. Oh, and he missed a spot. Look at where Moreno was setting up. Look where the ball ended up. That is his second ever splitter he's ever thrown. He put it in the zone. He missed his spot. Ohtani destroyed it. I totally understand that you want to go off speed versus Ohtani, but why right now? A really, really bizarre decision. I know Ryan Thompson's a very smart guy. That is just an interesting time to debut a new pitch. And also, very quickly, let's just appreciate Ohtani. This dude is amazing. A game-winning, go-ahead, 9th inning home run. Destroys everything in the zone. He is awesome. We are very lucky to have Shohei Ohtani. He wins this battle, and the Dodgers win 14-11. So first pitch is going to be called outside for a ball, and we can see Narvaez is eyeing him up. He's eyeing Baez up down there. He's like, yeah, I see you. You've got a lead. I see you. We can see Javi's lead here. It's nothing too crazy, but look at Narvaez setting up. He's like, oh, buddy, just you wait. I've got a surprise for you down at third base. So here's the pitch. It's outside. Here's the throw, and it gets away. Javi's going to be able to come home to score. Let's see the replay on that. Oh, yeah. Javi was toast. What a throw by Narvaez. I think Baez was just caught a little bit sleeping there. His lead was a little bit too long. Did not think they were going to throw down. So how did that ball get away? Well, let's look at a different angle. Baez is such a sneaky bugger. So he sees the throw is coming from Narvaez. Look, he's watching it, and watch where Baez ends up. Look at him running in the grass in front of Bregman. The ball is going to deflect off of Baez and go into the outfield. And we can see Bregman looking at the ump like, come on, man, he just ran in front of the ball. So is that legal? Is Baez allowed to go in front of the ball like that? Well, we actually saw a very similar play in the playoffs last year. We can see Manny Machado runs in front of Freeman's throw into the grass, and there's no call. The runner is actually allowed to go into the grass as they go towards the base. There's nothing illegal about that. It would only be interference if the runner is waving his arms or if he's looking at the ball and jumping right in front of it. Now, the only difference with this play is that Javi does kind of look back, see the throw, and then he adjusts to go into the throw, whereas Manny was never looking at the ball. So that's a little bit of a closer call, but if the ump doesn't see it in real time, this is not a reviewable play. So if he doesn't call it there, there is no call. So in this case, Javi Baez was dead meat, but he's able to bend the rules just enough to deflect it off his body, and then he turns an out into a run. Javi Baez finding all different types of ways to win. And the Mets just need a double play ball and they can get out of this inning. And on the first pitch, Freddie's going to crush it out to left field. Nimmo's going back. He gets turned around and it's going to drop in. Oh no. And the Dodgers are going to walk it off. That is incredible. Nimmo started off going to his right, but then the ball just kept slicing left and Nimmo couldn't find it again once he turned around. After the game, Nimmo said this, quote, The ball acted a little differently than I'm used to. I was very surprised to find it on the other shoulder. When I first read this, my first thought was, yeah, right, Nimmo. But then I was like, I haven't seen that happen a lot, so let's look into what happened. And what I found is that this was a very weird fly ball for two main reasons. We'll start with reason number one, which is that this ball should have been a home run. Freddie hit this ball 105.9 miles an hour off the bat with a 30-degree launch angle. So shout out to Jeff Snyder on X for this info, but there have been 86 balls so far this season hit with those numbers. The average distance of those balls is 407 feet, whereas Freddie's went 358. Freddie's ball was the second shortest distance of all 86 of those balls this year. To give you a comparison, here's what usually happens when you hit the ball 105.9 with a 30-degree launch angle. This ball goes 427 feet and it is absolutely tattooed. In other words, Freddie's ball should have gone way further than it did. And as a result, almost everybody thought it was a home run. We'll start with the base runners. Look at Tommy Edman. He is not tagging up here. He's a smart base runner. He knows it's only one out. If there's a chance that that ball's going to stay in the yard, Edman would be tagging up at second to try to get to third. But he's not even close. It's only at the end. He's like, oh, is he actually going to catch that? And here's Freddie's quote after the game, which basically confirms this. He said, quote, "I thought I hit it out, but I think we all know once the dew is on the mats of the dugout, it's going to be really hard to hit one out." And it was really humid in LA that night. 82% humidity, which basically once you go over 60% humidity, it starts to feel really sticky. So 82 is very humid. So Freddie seemed to think that that's why the ball didn't go as far. So that's weird fact number one. Nimmo probably thought it was a home run off the bat. But here's weird fact number two, and this is even crazier to me. So MLB.com has a feature called Game Day 3D, where you can watch an exact animated replay of every play. We saw this featured a lot in the Tokyo series, if you remember that. It's pretty cool. So with this tool, we can see the exact flight that the ball had. Okay, so right off the bat, we can see it heading out towards the scoreboard, and look at it start to bend. And then at the very end here, look at how far it went over to the left. Right off the bat from this angle, it looks like it's heading towards the scoreboard, and look at how far Nimmo would have to go to his right just to get over there. But that's where the ball ends up. Look at how far that sliced. Like, I know Freddie's a lefty, so it's supposed to slice, and a left fielder should be preparing for that bank. But that feels like a crazy amount of spin. And I'm just thinking about Nimmo's quote again, where he says, "It just didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I was very surprised to find it on the other shoulder." So Nimmo's a professional outfielder, and he should probably make that catch. But with this evidence, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that that was a very weird fly ball. So now it's bases loaded, one out, Max Muncy's coming to the plate, and this is a huge opportunity for the Dodgers. And on the second pitch, it's a deep drive to center field. Frelick's ranging back, and he caught it. He's going to throw it in, and now the throw's going to home, and he's out at home. What the heck? The runners are so confused, and now Contreras is just going to run to third, and the umpire says out there. Sal Frelick says, what the F just happened? Did the Brewers just turn a double play there? That is one of the most bizarre plays I've ever seen. The Dodgers challenged the call, and after the review, the call stands. He is out at home and he is out at third base. So it's a double play by the Brewers. And let's answer Frelick's question. What the F just happened? Well, let's start with Frelick. He makes an amazing effort on this ball, but the ball is going to bounce out of his glove and hit the wall. So as soon as the ball hits the wall, it's in play. You can't catch it for an out anymore. The left field umpire is going to make that call perfectly here. We can see him going crazy. He's saying, safe, safe. The ball's in play. So at this point, we need to treat the ball as if it was a ground ball. Pretend that it was a ground ball hit to center field, and now Frelick's got it in his glove. That means all the runners have to move up. But Teoscar's on third, and he's a little bit confused. So he's looking at Frelick, and he's thinking, okay, I think Frelick maybe caught that ball. So he's like, do I have to tag? So he goes forward initially, then he goes back when he thinks that Frelick has caught it, and then he's going to make a run for home. So, okay, a few things here for Teoscar. First of all, the ball hits the wall, so you don't have to tag at all. You can just go as soon as it touches the wall. But he could actually gone a little sooner than that, because let's just say Frelick bobbled the ball. Let's just say it popped out of his glove, it came up in the air, and he caught it again. The rule is as soon as the ball touches Frelick's glove, the runner can tag. You don't have to wait for the bobble and then the official catch to go. As soon as it hits the glove the first time, then you can tag. But that's only if it's a catch. It did hit the wall, so there's no need to tag at all. But Teo is still confused, so he hesitates there, and then he's making a run for home. It's a perfect throw to Terang. Terang throws a bullet home, and look at Contreras, the catcher here. He is ready. He knows he just needs to get the force out at home. Remember, just treat it like a ground ball. Pretend it was a ground ball to center field. Contreras is ready for the force out at home. No need to tag. He catches the ball right before Teoscar gets there, and look at the umpire. He makes the correct call, out at home. So great job by Contreras and the ump there. And then we've just got an absolute mess with with the other 3 Dodgers here. We'll start with Muncy, who hit the ball. After he hits it, he's going to jog to first, and then he's going to round first. Then we can see he sort of backs away, and Edman's running back thinking it was caught, so Edman slides back into first base. But I'm pretty sure now that Muncy has overtaken Edman on the base path, since Edman's now touching first and Muncy isn't. So I'm pretty sure Muncy is out in that situation since he technically passed Edman. So why is Edman coming back? Well, Edman thought it was a catch, which is why he's running back. Smith on second base also thinks it's a catch, which is why he's just standing there. But remember, pretend as if it's a ground ball. So those runners have to advance. Contreras, the catcher, sees that Smith hasn't advanced, so he's going to run the ball over to third just for fun, and he gets the force out. It's a double play at third base. And here's the official score in the scorebook. He grounds into a double play, center to shortstop to catcher, out at third, out at home. You got all that? So it's really easy to sit here and break it all down and say, wow, the Dodgers are so dumb. But everybody was confused. Even Sal Frelick was confused. This was just a really bizarre play that you rarely see, and it ends up as a huge double play for the Brewers. This is one of the weirdest plays I've seen so far this year. So it's Rangers versus Red Sox. We're in the top of the third. So it's runners on second and third with 1 out, and Wyatt Langford is coming to the plate. He's one of the Rangers' best hitters right now. And on the first pitch, he's going to ground it back to the pitcher. Houck's going to field that nice play. The throw to first base is bobbled, and Langford is safe at first. But is he, though? We're seeing Alex Cora hold up his hand saying, hold on, I might want to review this. And then eventually the Red Sox do decide to review. Their first thought is, does Gonzalez have the ball here before he drops it? But then as you start to look at the replay more and more, it gets super weird. Okay, so let's watch the whole play. First of all, nice play here by Houck. Fields that cleanly. Looks the runner back at third. Nicely done. Then the throw sails a little bit. I think he rushed that throw a tad. So the ball goes into the base path. Gonzalez has to stretch in, and then he drops the ball. It looks like he did not have possession of the ball at all during that stretch, but now Langford has nowhere to go, so he's going to pull out the little Euro step, and look at that, he missed first base. Langford did not touch first. And we can go to another angle here. We can see Gonzalez then picks up the ball and is standing on first base. Therefore, Langford should be out, right?
The call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. What? Boston loses their challenge.
And the Red Sox bench is furious. I'm putting on my John Boy cap here, but manager Alex Cora says, hey, no effing way. He missed the effing base. He absolutely did miss the base. So first of all, I saw some people saying that, well, it's safe because of interference. Gonzalez got in the base path, so therefore he was blocking Langford, so therefore he's safe. But I just want to squash that really quickly here. The rulebook's pretty clear about obstruction. It says, obstruction by a fielder attempting to field a ball should only be called in very flagrant and violent cases because the rules give him the right of way. So basically, it has to be very intentional and flagrant for it to be obstruction. The throw naturally led Gonzalez into the base path, so he's allowed to go get the ball. So definitely no interference on this play. He's actually safe because of a much weirder rules. Okay, so try to follow me here. The rulebook says, if the runner misses first base, he shall be considered as having reached the base. So because Langford beat the throw to first base, technically he's not out yet. He's not exactly safe either, which is kind of funny. He's sort of in this no man's land. At this point, the first baseman Gonzalez has a chance to get him out, but he can't just step on first base. No, he has to appeal and tag. So what does an appeal mean? He has to basically look at the umpire and say, hey, he missed first base, and then he has to step on first with the ball. So he's got to do both of those things. Here's the rule. Any runner shall be called out on appeal when he overruns first base and fails to return, and he or the base is tagged prior to the runner returning. So basically, Gonzalez has to appeal, and then he can either step on first or tag the runner. But that is their only window to get him out. So if Langford can get back to first base before Gonzalez appeals and tags, then Langford is safe forever. It is not reviewable. And that's what we see the crew chief explain to Alex Cora here. He didn't touch the base or the bag, but he never appealed. So he came back to the base, and so he's safe. So basically he's saying, look, you had your chance to get him. He had to appeal, but he came back to the base before he appealed, so he's safe. And then I'm sure Alex Cora is saying, look, I challenged. Why can't I challenge? And then here we see a further explanation. When he was past the base, that was your only chance basically to challenge the play. I couldn't read exactly what he said during that spot, but that's basically what he's saying. You had your chance. Gonzalez, that's the only time you could have gotten him. Once he comes back, it's not reviewable. He's safe forever. Now, there is one thing. Technically, this first base umpire should not have made a safe call because technically nothing's happened yet. Langford did not step on first. He ran past. So technically, he's not out, but he's not safe. So the umpire should have done nothing. So then both players know, oh, something hasn't happened here. Either I need to get back to first or I need to tag him. So the Red Sox could argue that, hey, Gonzalez didn't appeal because you called him safe. I think that'd be worth a shot. I don't know if it would work, but that's definitely an argument you could make. So anyway, very weird rule. Langford's called safe. The Rangers do end up scoring 1 run that inning, but the Red Sox end up winning by 2, so no harm, no foul. But yeah, pretty weird rule. So there you go. Those are my favorite weird plays from 2025. What was your favorite weird play from this season? Let me know down in the comments, and thanks so much for watching.